Hello everybody, I'm in the studio today for a special project. I'm doing a color along on one of the coloring groups, Friends Who Color, and our color along project is this page from The Snow Princess by Ruth Sanderson. It's a grayscale image. I've done the foreground in it, and I'm going to be demonstrating doing the sky with some special effects in the back there. What I've decided to use for the background are Pan Pastels, and I've got the blues out. I have 3 blues and white. So that's what I'm going to start out with. I will remind everybody that was participating in the group and tell all of you who are just watching this here for the first time that I've done the snowflakes and the swirls in Prismacolor White, which is PC 938, I believe. The reason I do that is that the pastels won't stick to it as well as it does the blank paper or the bare paper. So I'm able to find those particular areas again for when I decide to do those later in gel pen, or if I want to use anything else on it later, I'll be able to find where those were located. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my darkest blue. Pan Pastels don't have names. Oh yeah, they do. Oh my goodness, all this time they've been under the bottom and I didn't know it. This is Phthalo Blue. So we'll start with that. And I'm going to use a cotton makeup remover as my applicator. And I'm going to kind of just dab that in. I rub it in, just rub it in there, and then kind of dab it on the outside, and then I'm going to rub that in a circular motion. And you'll be able to see where the white can still be seen through. Now the reason I'm doing the dark out on the outer corners is I want to kind of just bring the light in. And we'll see if that works in the way I imagine it. And you can kind of go lighter as you come in, trying desperately not to get it on the polar bear or on any of the white. I'm not worried about her hair because I haven't done that yet. I'll be doing that after I apply the pastels, because I know I'm not going to be able to avoid that. So normally what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold my cotton makeup remover over, and I'm going to go to the next lighter blue, which, if I take that off, is Ultramarine Blue, which might actually be darker. It's kind of hard to tell. But I'm going to go right over the top of the blue that I've already put there, and then I'm going to use this to come in. See if I can do this upside down. Still have you see what I'm doing. This is like working upside down for me too. Normally I would flip my picture around. I'm trying to keep it steady for you. I think that Phthalo Blue on the paper looks just a little on the greenish side. I really wasn't wanting that green look. Now it might just be because it's reacting to the grayscale underneath. And the grayscale you would think is just a lighter version of black. However, if I set my printer on black and white, it doesn't work. It won't print it correctly. So what I have to do is use color. And of course, one of the colors is yellow. And that yellow might be what's coming out in the gray. That's making the blue look a little on the green side. I'm just guessing. This isn't sticking real well tonight for some reason. Not sure why that is. But I'm really seeing the grayscale come through. I don't like that. So just have to keep going over it. Now, you can still see where the white is in the back. It's like a paler blue. But easy enough to tell where your white will go later. If I have any cotton swabs up here, doesn't look like it. Sometimes something like a Q-tip will help you get into these tight places. You won't have to fold it up as much as I am. Kind of hard to get in up to that crown without going over it, and I really don't want to get that blue on the crown. I will get it on the ribbons. I'm not worried about that because you can still see the ribbons well enough, and we'll fix those later. Got a little on the bear's tail there, but I think we can fix that. Whoops, I'm getting it everywhere. This is just a paintbrush I use to brush away dust, and sometimes the pencils leave a little bit of a residue, and I brush that away with those as well. Now I'm going to go to a clean pad. I'm going to use the lighter blue. Hopefully I'll be able to blend in or out some of the grayscale that's shining through, which is just really bothering me tonight. Sometimes you can use another color and blend the darker colors together. That doesn't seem to be the case tonight, though. Got a little on his face. Work on that with an eraser. All right, well, let's see. It's looking better in the camera view than what I'm seeing. I'm not real pleased with it, but I'm going to go back to the darker again. That's the Ultramarine Blue. See if I can get a better coverage. Normally I don't have this. I don't know, maybe it's my paper tonight, or maybe it's just the grayscale. The Pan Pastels usually go on well enough to cover. Now, I can fix some of what I've done here with the blue. I've managed to get it everywhere. Again, I'm not too worried about her hair. We're going to go over that. But I don't want it on some of the locations that I managed to get it on. Touch that up. Oh, I'll have to touch that up with probably white. Goodness gracious, really made a mess of this. This is powder blue. I'm just going to repair some of what I erased. It's not my original color to this, which was cloud blue. But it's close enough to do the trick here. Oh dear. Now his ear was cream. I don't have that down here, so I will have to, or up here I should say, in the studio. The nice thing about these particular colors is you can color match them with many pencils. So when you go up around the edges, any place that you can't get the pastels into, you can later hit them with the pencils, and that'll do pretty good at covering them up. Now I am going to pause the video for a minute while I go out and spray it. I'm going to use this Krylon matte finish just to seal it. So I will be back in just a minute. All right. I managed to fix by erasing any of the blue that got over onto the polar bear or onto areas of the princess or her clothing down in the snow. Got those erased. Got it sprayed. So now we can go on to the next step, which I am going to take the light, and that is turquoise. I'm going to take that light blue and I'm going to try to follow the streaks that represent, I think, the wind blowing. It looks like it goes down across and up. And I'm just trying to get a lighter area right now. Just trying to lighten it just a little bit. And so that just shows us, kind of shows where the wind is swirling around. All right, good enough. Now, since I've messed up all of my, messed up all of my pad there, I am going to actually peel it apart so that I can get to a clean area, just the inside, so that I can then use the white. And again, we're going to follow the same paths as the wind. Some of that off. And I am going to, you can actually, with, sorry, lost my train of thought there. With the Pan Pastels, you're able to color right over them also. So I'm going to sharpen up my Prisma 938, which is the white, and I'm going to try to track these now, sometimes it won't work quite the way you think it should. It actually takes the pastel off instead of adding to. And if that's the case, then, which is what's happening here, what we'll do is spray it again, and then we can apply the pencil. Actually, it looks like the white pastel is actually sticking to the pencil better, or wiping the other color off, whichever the case may be. So maybe that'll work for us. Let's try that. Now by this point, I have just completely obliterated the snowflakes and stars or whatever was back there. So what I'll end up by doing is referring back to the original grayscale to locate those and put those back in. But that will be on the next step. And I think for now we've pretty much got the general shape of our wind back in place again. I think that looks pretty good. So we'll just brush off any excess, and we can touch up any areas with a blue pencil. Just try to match up your blue. This is probably not the bright blue pencil. This one's a little bit on the green side, but you can just touch up that blue any place you need it. Just color match your pencils. And we'll post this, and I'll leave it on my YouTube channel so you can access it in the future. And if you are just now seeing this and you don't know about the color along, then you can join us on Friends Who Color. Just look it up. If you're not a member of the group, I'm sure they'll be glad to have more members. Thanks, and I'll see you again soon.